Well, I've set the GoPro up once, I've just had to set it up again, you know. Typical GoPro. Dog mark. Right, this will be a bit of fun. Had a few horses down there, bit of horse muck. Don't do anyone any harm, I suppose. It's only grass, plus their intestines. I'm now wondering whether I should have fished round the corner. She'll probably have to reel that one in and walk round that way. That's the first one out. We'll chuck the next one out now, but we're going to chuck it out from up there. I can't believe I haven't pulled it off. It's been... it's got this weed on my reel here. But it's been on my... It's been at now for 2 days, since last Sunday. So it's like 9 days. And I thought I'd have pulled it off for now, because you shouldn't leave it, because it just gets all sticky and you can't get it off. So I don't know, I'm pulling off as much as I can, and then I'm just going to have a rest from it because it hurts my fingertips. So that'll do. I've got big eyes, so that should go through it anyhow. So let's get this out. Only short. That's too far. No, that's perfect. Perfect. This isn't holding bottom. I thought on a 6.1 tide that would have been all right. 2 clicks. Yeah, I thought it would have been all right, to be honest. Oh, well, right. So that's both rods out. We've got squid on it. We've got no fantastic bait today. I rung up me bait man, Squids and Bait, knowing that I wouldn't get any bait, because it's been difficult just lately, as I've said in previous videos, with these storms that we have. Less said about them the better, because that's just propaganda, isn't it? Yeah, so I know today is, well, I haven't even told you the day, have I? It is the 7th of February, and it's a Wednesday, and it is exactly 1:55 p.m. High tide is at 4. It's a 6.1 metre tide. We're fishing the River Humber. I phoned up on the off chance of having some bait, some yellowtails, but not for knowingly that I wouldn't be able to get them, because there ain't been, with the storms and that we've had, the bait diggers haven't been out. There's been bait ordered and it just goes all at the weekend. So totally different to last year. Last year I could get it ad hoc, you know, I could just get it, it was there, do you know what I mean? But this year it's a little bit more difficult, and I don't really fish at the weekends. I might fish this weekend, but I'm going somewhere where there ain't many people, so that'll be good. And I might just order some bait, and that means I have to go pick it up and then go somewhere else. So that's what I'm possibly gonna do, but only because I'm thinking of fishing Sunday. There seems to be quite a lot of tide run. It's a 6.1 metre tide. Normally it's quite calm, but it's what lines are whistling. Hopefully my Ziplex has now held bottom. It was right over there and it's swung right round, so it's probably come down and then gripped on the bottom, and it's now sorted. But we don't want no tangled lines, do we? So yeah, it's been a bit difficult for me this year getting bait. Last year I did fish I fished quite a few Sundays, I did. This year I ain't. And today is a window again in the weather. Yesterday was cold. This morning was cold, but now it's okay. And tomorrow it's going to be cold. And they talk about snow. So I think it's mostly in Scotland and up high. We might get a dusting. Hopefully not. Don't want any of that crap. I'm still lugging this air. I keep putting the stuff in, the liquid that we bought, OX or whatever it is. Ah, does that hurt? Because everything's linked up, your ear, nose and throat, isn't it? So it goes down some channel somewhere and it's excruciating. Absolutely excruciating pain. I was screaming last night. Wife didn't even comment. She either thought I was going crazy or whatever, but I had to get this stuff out of my ear. I was banging it like this and tissue in and head up that way, you know. Oh, for like 2 minutes it was worse than earache. I can't believe it. I daren't put these drops in, but I've got to put them in. So I'm going back to the hospital tomorrow, and I'm going to go earlier to make sure they haven't got too much paperwork to do, so they can't see any patients for the last hour and a half of their being open, so that I actually get seen. And hopefully when I go into the reception, the nurse won't be sat on the chair beside her mate with her feet on the counter, because that's happened twice. So hopefully I'll get there early enough before they're too tired to keep the feet on the floor, and that they got so much paperwork to fill in. I went for the x-ray on my hip. They x-rayed my whole hip and she missed my left hip. So they then had to x-ray my left hip because they had some student nurse or whatever he was in there. So I had 2 x-rays for the price of 1. So that was good. So I've got one of both minus my left hip and my left hip, which is the sore hip. And when they asked me, am I pregnant? Yeah, I had to answer after the third answer had to be correct. Otherwise, I think I would have been told to take me girly gown off and go away. Yeah. I mean, what an insult. I know I'm fat and chubby, but to say I'm pregnant, what's all that about? Cheeky gits. Well, I've got nothing yet. So like I say, I haven't got the top bait. If I had yellowtails there, I would be confident that if there's any codle in there, and I ain't bothered if they're this big, as you know. You know I've caught my winter codling, and he was only 14 centimetres, but he was good for me. So that's the winter one done. If I had yellowtails there and there was any small codling, I'd be quite confident that I'd catch one. But on squid and black lug, it's a struggle. Not saying you can't. If you're in the right place at the right time with that bait on, that fish is hungry, it's going to take your fish bait in it. So, but there, we're here, we're fishing it. It is absolutely glorious, as you can see. And this is what you call a gap in the window weather, or the weather window. Sun's out. I'm not saying it's generating loads of heat, but you'll certainly feel the temperature drop when that goes. We have got geese. Now, what is a flock of geese called flying? Is that called a murmuration, or is that just called a flock of geese? But yeah, lines are whistling. Tide is coming in, 6.1 metre tide. It will come over these rocks down here and this seaweed. Probably come up there a bit, but it won't come up far. If I was fishing at the bays at Immingham, then the problem with that is you can get snagged up a lot at the bottom, because you've either got to make a decision that you're going over, it's cold, it's winter, I'm not taking my shelter and everything over there, it's too much hard work. So you got to think you're going to fish in the bays, and in the bays you can get snagged up, and that ain't my sort of fishing. I want to just reel it in. If you get snagged, you get snagged, but you want to try and not get snagged, don't you? All that yanking and pulling, then you got to go over anyhow, ain't you? Unless you pull for a break, then you leave all your gear there, don't you, for someone else. So down there, I can just walk down there with my hip, yeah. And if I catch a flounder or a small whiting, that's fine by me. Today I am filled with positivity, nothing but positivity. I've been to classes for it, for positivity. He's called Spolt and my missus, and they give me all the positivity I need. Sometimes I don't agree with it, but I take it on board. There's quite a few geese there, you know. There must be, what, I don't know what to say, it must be a couple hundred. Anyhow, this is it, we've cast it out. Lugworms are there defrosting. Don't know what the temperature is. I'm trying to find the temperature. 6 degrees. Well, 6 degrees ain't bad. 6 degrees ain't bad. 5 degrees and below is flipping terrible. It was 2 degrees this morning and it was bitter. I had my thick hoodie on at work. It was cold. It was cold in the classrooms. It was cold. Terrible. So I went home, had me rest of my coffee, fed the cats, got on the sofa and was dozing off and thought, Christ, I've got to get all my gear ready. And then when I went outside, it was warm. Well, it weren't warm, but it was warmer. Certainly weren't as cold as what it was this morning. So we're here. High tide's at 4 o'clock, so 6.1 as I say. I do repeat myself, it's just the way it is. So 5, 6 o'clock, probably 7, back to the van by 7:30. We'll see if this works out right. Back to the van at 7:30, home at 8:30. I've cut kindling for the wife, got her some logs in, and filled the coal bucket up. And that was bloody heavy. It was like carrying my bucket of water. I don't enjoy it. So yeah, she's got everything there. I expect she'll have a sandwich tonight. I don't think there's anything in the house. Mind you, we've got an air fryer now. We've had a bit of palaver with it, but the second one we've got, it don't stink the house. I mean, the first air fryer was setting the fire alarm off. Filled the kitchen up with smoke, because you have to burn it off, don't you? But we washed it all 3 or 4 times. The second one, we washed the first one. That still the smell just wouldn't go. So we took that back. Brought it home. We washed this one 3 or 4 times, not just the once. and then burnt it off, and it still set the fire alarm off, but it's all right now. Chips, they're okay. They're not like your chips in the frying pan, but they're certainly better than chips out of the oven. But we're still fine-tuning it. Chicken cooks chicken beautiful. I'm used to dried old chicken with my wife. She always puts it in the oven and overcooks it, but I'm so used to that, I'm not complaining. I actually like it. She cooked the chicken drumsticks in this air fryer and they were still succulent. Cooked, burnt my lip, but I just couldn't eat it. Didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. So mine all got pulled together apart and I ate it in sandwiches, so that was all right. And before you say, well, what's the difference? Well, there's bread and stuff in there. So she cooked chicken breast in the air fryer, and that wasn't dry, because her chicken breasts are just as dry as her chicken legs and her thighs. Dry as anything, her thighs. And for quite a while, really. Well, whenever she cooks them, always dry. But I like it. I like it. But she cooked chicken breast in the air fryer, and it come out. It was succulent. I've never known chicken to be like that. That was really nice. So up to now, chicken and chips, brilliant. What else you can cook in it, I don't know. Spolt reckon you can cook sausages really nice in it, so we'll be trying that as well. Might actually cook the sausages quicker, because when you roast them in the oven, oh geez, you can be waiting. They come out all nice and sticky, as long as you keep an eye on it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out like in the air fryer. So yeah, we've got an air fryer. What else has happened this week? I'm watching these rod tips. What else has happened this week? Sort the oldies out at work. So I've got them. I've cancelled next week's holiday. I'm working, but I've only got to do 2 hours a day. What else have I got to do? Yeah, well, a lot happened. The house, the plumber's gone out of the house now. I think we've just got to get a certificate for the gas connection. What else have we got? I'm painting it now. I've cleaned it all with the wife, thank you very much. She helped me the other day. It took me 2 days, but we got it done in a few hours. It was harder than we thought. Shit everywhere. But that's done. I'm now painting all round the bottom. So hopefully Monday, Tuesday, I shall be rollering. And once the walls are rollered, I'll roller all the doors and work my way out of the downstairs. So hopefully it'll all be done. It's taken a bit of time to prep the bathrooms and that, but so work-wise is going all right. I've got to get a couple more fishing trips in. We've got some big tides coming up, and I've never fished the right big tides. They must be the big spring tides that are coming. Well, certainly big tides are 7.6, 5, 7.7. They're all over 7 metre. So I'm going to fish a couple of sessions at different marks. So that'll be interesting. That'll make a different video. It's going to be different marks. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's about it, really. I've got to go see Mike at Case to Tackle. He keeps saying to me, have I got GPS or a compass? So I'm gonna try and go there this Saturday. Whether I get there or not's another matter, but I'm gonna try. But if he's busy, I can't see him, can I? So yeah, go check out Mike at Case to Tackle. He's got a link at the bottom of my description in every single video since time immemorial when I met him. And you can get all your fishing gear there, from rods, reels, line, weights, components for terminal tackle. You can get everything. Sea fishing, carp fishing, freshwater fishing, you name it, he does it. So yeah, go check out his website. He's also on eBay, but I would personally just get his phone number and give him a tinkle. But it is a glorious day. Blue skies, no wind, and it's been like 38 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour winds, gusts all the time. But I kept an eye on this weather and it was looking good, and it never changed. I've had a couple of these, just move my box. I've had a couple of days like this in between storms and bad weather. Not that we've had a proper storm yet, I don't think. It's just winter, isn't it? You always get flooding, don't you? Every year we get flooding. It's unfortunate, but these developers do build on floodplains, don't they? Throughout time. I mean, there's some areas that are flooded in the 1700s. You know, perhaps they didn't know back then, but you'd think so, wouldn't you? So I'm not really expecting to catch much today. Today's just about coming out. I've had a couple of weeks. Well, I've had 10 days of working with just a Sunday off, and you need to get out and have a change of scenery and do something different. Climbing down a cliff, not this time of year. It's muddy, wet, and even if it ain't, and you get there and you think, oh, it's all right, you know, that's pot luck, that is. And the last thing you want to do is get stuck in them cliffs. But yeah, don't know what else to say really. I was looking forward to fishing all week. I was keeping an eye on this window, and then yesterday I was a bit excited when I left the house, locked it all up, thought great, I'm going and get my gear ready. Didn't get my gear ready. I'd got it ready the night before, but I was going out last night just to double check it. But I did such a good job on Monday getting it ready while I was talking to Brett, and I got it all sorted, so it was not a problem. But when I got to work today, I was like, I don't know if I want to go fishing. Don't know if I want to go fishing, film. Don't know if I want to go fishing. So I weren't going to go. I've got 2 videos in the bank, that's all. It's Wednesday today, so my video goes out tonight. So I do apologise if I don't answer the comments straight away. I normally have a session on answering comments to a certain time at night, and then I watch a bit of telly, and then I go to bed, and then I answer them again in the morning and throughout the day, the next day, which is the Thursday. Might be a bit different tonight. I will try and answer some tonight, but I am here fishing. If I do answer some here, I will answer the rest of them. I will answer the rest of them. I will answer the rest of them. I'll get out in a minute. I will answer the rest. For God's sake. When I get up. Got a helicopter now. Should we see where that is? Where's the helicopter? I think, I would say it sounds like a Chinook, but I don't think it is. It's coming out of the sun, isn't it? It's coming for a bombing attack, isn't it? You could probably hear it. I'll be going to them, ain't a Chinook. I'll be going to them, well, I don't know if there's any oil rigs out there. It'll be going somewhere, won't it? It's the Ruskies. Yeah. Well, aren't the French farmers doing a good job? You gotta admit that. They don't mess about, not like us bloody Poms. I mean, you watch the train strikes and there they have a couple of placards and a scarf on, having a laugh and a chat. And the French, well, they take it they do a protest like you should do, don't they? They've got a lot more passion, haven't they? So yeah, apparently when I left this house my house this morning, the Ursula von der Leyen, the failed German minister who was then given a job to fail, yeah, they're rolling back, I believe, on nitrogen usage and other stuff which the French are, and the Belgians and the Germans and the Spanish and the Dutch and so on are all complaining about. So it looks like they're rolling it back, but I would say they'll then reintroduce it under something else. So keep at it, lads. Keep at it, you French and everyone else. If it ain't right for you, this net rush to net zero, then you got to protest, don't you? Because what do they know? They're all following their agenda, aren't they? It's like we're getting these NHS. They're now talking about NHS, and don't get me started on the 71-year-old for pension status. But that's a think tank. They didn't really report that properly, but that's a think tank that's deciding it. But that'll come into happening, won't it? I mean, what's the point of work until you're 71? Most people won't be able to work. They won't be able to claim the pension. They'll be hard up. Just more people into poverty. It's absolute crap. And it don't matter what government's in power, because the bloody other lot will be just as shite, won't they? And yeah, NHS passports or something they're on about. So all your medical details are on there. Well, I remember someone else talking about that. Some geezer that goes, yes, and does this sort of lark with his hand. Yeah, the man who's got a lot to answer for, Mr. Blair. Yeah. Because he goes on about these ID cards for the NHS and stuff and sharing your details. And he's got some sort of, I would say club, but it isn't a club. Foundation. Hospital foundation or something. And he gets money from pharmaceutical companies to help his foundation. They all are in the same pot, aren't they? They're all shitting in the same clog. Two cheeks of the fucking same arse, aren't they? They're, oh, what is the world coming to? Like I say, I was saying last year that this country of ours, 2 years ago I was probably saying that it's not a country that I now recognise. And it's just absolutely chronic. And now I'm hearing people like Douglas Murray saying he doesn't recognise this country anymore. Now, he's an educated man. And if he's saying that he doesn't recognise this country anymore for what it's becoming, there's something wrong, isn't there? It's absolute shite, innit? You got that bloke running around in the country who's done that alkaline attack. I mean, what's all that about? Where's he? He's not being found, is he? And then you got politicians of all degree, of all stature, if they have got any stature. You got politicians saying it's nothing to do with immigration, is it? It's microaggression. I had to ask my wife what microaggression is. She says to me, that's like when you say to me, are you going to get the over out, you lazy git? It's been a week. That's microaggression, I believe. And then I heard someone on the news saying that misogyny, using the word misogyny. I had to ask the wife what that was. She said she don't know. But misogyny, and this woman related it to the fact of if you leave a note, why you'd leave a note saying MMA. It should have an S on the end. But she then said, make me a sandwich. So she must have put an S on. I couldn't have heard it because I am a bit luggy. Make me a sandwich. So if you leave a note for your wife, make me a sandwich, that's apparently the worst sort of misogyny that you can do. So I was at work with a wife, walking behind her in the corridor, and I said, so if I ask you to make me a sandwich, then that's terrible, is it? That's like you're going to prison. And she went, well, apparently. I think, Jesus Christ. Sometimes some of the meals I get, and they get put in front of you and they're burnt or whatever, and I make a comment, I'm surprised I haven't gone to prison for 5 to 10 years. All I can hear is these lines whistling, so my ears must be getting better. This is the worst one. This one's okay-ish. I've probably got 80% hearing out of that, probably 70. This one's probably about 40. Right, that's it. I'm packing it up now. I'm gonna turn this off, watch these rods, check these lugworms, see if they're getting soft, and they aren't. Well, what will we do with them? We'll put them on there, shall we? Now, because that'll make my thing stink. Why does it always stuff make everything stink, eh? Doesn't it? Now I'm going to put them worms on there, they'll make that light stink, won't they? Once it starts seeping out. Bloody sunlight. I'll put it in there. That'll make that stink. It makes everything stink, doesn't it? Right, that's it. I'm gonna get everything stinky, and I'll bring you back when I'm stop rattling on, because I could just rattle on forever, because what else have I got to do? I ain't got nothing biting my rods. There's no one there to talk to. And what else am I going to do apart from talk to you lot? Nothing else to talk about. I've just had a little bit of a moan, Anna. It's not all about me. I know it ain't. I know it ain't. But I'm the only one here, so there's only me here. Couldn't bring the Ferris wheel with me, or the pot and shed full of hookers. So yeah, it's just me again, I'm afraid. I even forgot the Scrabble. I was going to bring Kaplunk, but you know, the straws just go all over and I'd lose them, wouldn't I? I've lost a few pieces out of Mousetrap, so I couldn't bring that. Oh, have I got a bite? Have I got a bite? Rodding close, rodding close. But yeah, now positivity today. Positivity. Yeah, I could catch a flounder, British flounder. I could catch a British rockland there. I could catch British codlin or a British whiting. Whatever I'm going to catch in these waters, it'll be a flounder, a whiting, a codlin or a rockland. I don't think there's much else in this river, apart from the odd bass. And that would be a British bass, or it's just a bass, do you know what I mean? But it's in our waters, isn't it? So that's what it is. Just an old 55-year-old, because I'm still 55, fishing this mark, the River Humber. And it's an enjoyable day. The sun's out, blue skies. It's not warm, but it's not cold either. And sometimes in life you just need to go fishing. If you don't fish, give it a go. just buy some cheap gear. If you'll enjoy it and you keep going, then buy what you want, so that you only buy it once. Because if you buy the shiny shit, you buy and you buy and you buy and you end up with crap like me. So just buy what you want, if you can, what you can afford, but what you want. If you've got to wait longer for it, wait longer for it. Otherwise you end up with about 50 rods. Just a little bit of advice from someone that's been there and done it. But yeah, if you enjoy it, it's just nice to come fishing, to be on the beach, the cliffs, the bank, shore, whatever you want to call it, on your own, with mates, cup of coffee, some sandwiches, watch your rods, get stinky fingers. Because when you're 55, the only way you're going to get stinky fingers is to come fishing. So get out and go fishing. It's good for your old head as well. Certainly clear it out. And it's a day away, isn't it? So I've got a day away from that flipping house. It's not the house that's the problem, it's the people that live next door, really, do my head in. See you in a bit. Well, I've had a couple of taps on this Pacelli rod, so let's have a check. Well, there we go. One flounder. That's a good thing to catch, isn't it? Straight off. Right. One flounder. Let's get that in the bucket, get it unhooked. First cast off the mark. That's good to see, isn't it? So I'll get this unhooked. He's deep hooked, so I'll get him unhooked and give you a quick show and put him back. See you in a bit. Right, battery's low. I'm hoping that I can film this. We'll get this chucked out again. Nice and short. Take the slack up. So, yeah, that's that out, slack up. It's only out short, we ain't got it out far. So, there we have it. One flounder, beautiful little fish. Deep hooked, got the hook out this side of its gill and it's going back. So here we go. Is that filming? Yeah. Thought the battery had gone because I can't hear it ding-a-ling-a-ling. Now let's hope this don't sit down on the bloody bank and sit there for the tide to go out like they do. Well, that was a bit muddy down there. I need to go over that side. There's less mud over there, so I had to give it a bit of a chuck. I always give it a chuck anyhow, but yeah. Oh, my hands are cold. I'm gonna have to get my hand warmers out. Let's get up there. Take your time. Yeah. We're not a young spring chicken like we used to be. Not for a long shot. So we caught a flounder, and I'm happy about that. No blank, it's a blank done with. Felt heavy coming in, but the weight was dragging in the mud, I think. I've got my heated jacket on now. I'll not go on about my heated jacket too much, but you know I will, because that's what I am. But I haven't got it turned on, and I've just walked down there and come back up and I'm bloody hot. So I don't need that on yet, but my fingers are cold. I've got my cheap Temu gloves. Absolute godsend they are. That's a casting glove. I think you can cast with these as well, but we'll just use them for warmth. The only reason I've got my hat on is to keep my earbuds in, because they keep falling out. So that's it, first cast, saw the bite. Had two chaps down on the point. I was talking to them, didn't ask the names, they knew me. Had a bit of a chat with them, it was nice having a chat with you lads. And I had a bite as they turned up. Said, "Hey, you had anything?" I said, "I've got a bite now." And it was tapping away while they're on it, and it was a flounder, you know. But if we catch flounder, let's catch another 4 or 5. And you never know, there might be a small codling about, so that'll be an added bonus, won't it? So, see you in a bit when I bring that next rod in, or I've got something to get off my chest. See you in a bit. Right, let's get this Ziplex rod in and let's see what's going to happen. You'll see me in a bit. Well, squid is still on the hooks, that's the main thing. Squid is still on the main hooks, or the squid is on the hooks. That's the main thing I said, didn't I? So yeah, let's get a worm on it and tip it off with some squid, and we'll give it a cast out. I'm gonna cast it literally over there, so I can't help thinking I should have gone in the bay next door, because then I can fish in front of me and at the point, but that doesn't matter. I'm in a good bay here, good part of the river. I call it a bay, it's just this inlet thing here, this sea defence which comes around, giving you sort of like a bay, but the opposite way around to the bays at Immingham. So anyhow, less of the waffle. I don't waffle, do I? As someone else. It's because I just phoned up Brett and spoke to Brett. Brett's Fishing Diaries, go check him out. Alan's Crawshaw's Castaways, Alan's Castaways, go check him out. Yeah, that was a bit of a pause, wasn't it? Anyhow, I'm going to get these baited up and I'll stop rattling on. Right, that's that baited up. Let's get it out. Cast it in a totally different direction than the Vaselli. We don't want any tangles, do we? That weren't good. Bit of squid come off, but the worm's still on. It is what it is, isn't it? Not a lot you can do about it, is there? Where's that going? Of course, I'm gonna have to go round there to reel that one in. It is. I know I said I was going to cast over that way. Or is it? Is it just slack? Yeah, slack. It's on the bloody rocks. Sorry about this. Good job I noticed that. Look at that. As if I need to walk all this flipping way. Yeah, it's caught in that and the weed. Gee, I might have to reel that in. Look at that, it's on the floor. Can you see my line? Right, I'm gonna have to walk down there with my rod and reel that slack in and keep an eye on it, because yeah, I ain't gonna film that. It's too much hard work. I can't hold the camera, so I'll see you in a bit. Oh, you fucking arsehole, my fucking hips. Fucking shit. Fucking iPods, they drop out. Fucking don't fit your fucking heads. Fuck's sake. Get fucking in, you fucker. Now the fucking squid's off. Right, bait up time again. Fuck. Fucking gloves. Fucking worms off and all. Ah, for God's sake. Right. Get fucking on it. Don't fall out of my fingers again. Do you know what? If I didn't have to walk up that slope, I'd do an off the ground cast every time. I'm sick and tired of doing fucking overhead thumps. Well, you only got to walk up that slope then, ain't you? Ain't much of a job. Well, I'm afraid it is much of a job. Yeah, it's enough for me not to want to go up there. If you let go too soon on the red thump, it flies out at 200 miles an hour, hits the water and just destroys everything. My problem is my hip. Yeah, it hurts my left hip when I cast, when I go from right to left. Whatever weight transfer I have onto my left, it hurts. Now, my hip hasn't hurt so much the last few days, and I can only think it's because I'm working more and it's strengthening my hip up probably. But it still doesn't alter the fact that my hip hurts. And that's my problem. It's not anyone else's problem, and it's not about me either. Now, all I want to do is cast this over in that direction. It went too far that way, and it was going over this bloody rock here, and all my line was getting caught on this rock. So I reeled it in, cast that again, and it cocked up. You just saw it. I wasn't going to turn the camera on. I thought I'll just get this chucked out. I thought, no, turn it on. Let go too soon, and what happens? 200 mile an hour in, and it just balls up, doesn't it? So yes, I can go up the top there. I'm not going to. It's only a flapper rig. I don't need it going out a million miles. I just need the cast to be right and to let go, but I need to get my hip into a position that doesn't hurt. That was better. Cast was better, that, for an overhead stupid thump. I can't wait till I'm on the beach. I can do it here, but I'm not walking up that slope. But by the time tomorrow comes, if every cast I go up that slope and cast up there, because there's no room here, by the time I get home tomorrow, I'm shattered, absolutely shattered. Where the fuck's this going? High tide is at 4 o'clock. It's zooming out. Oh, it's coming up to 4, but it's not high water yet. Water's still coming in. Right, next cast, I need to cast to the left, up there, because it's zooming out. That cast was good, but I let go probably about 4 inches in that too late, so it still went out far enough. It's pretty good enough, but yeah, not perfect. When you're doing off the ground, yeah, I don't have a problem with it now, but what I do have is walking up this all the time. You know, I don't want to slip. I need to take some painkillers, but I only took some painkillers at 12ish. I think it was 12. So, but I'll take some painkillers. I'll have to pour a coffee. Okay, now. Sorry about that cursing. If there's any young people watching, I'm sorry. It's not big and it's not clever to have a potty mouth. You're not big. You just show yourself up for what you are. But there you go. There you go! In it, in it, in it! Right, painkillers. There's this one, isn't it? Got now in. It's that one. I sorted this out the other night. Of course, I've got absolutely millions of bloody painkillers in here. There's enough. There's about 6. I'll take them 6. They're only ibuprofen. I don't know why I've got hay fever tablets in there. Right, I'm taking the, where is it? Oh, for God's sake, everything. Ah! Oh, where's my cocodamals? There they are. I can't take these yet until the drink's cold. Bloody glasses and hats. It's just fucking no room, is there? I got this bloody thing here wrong way. I put it that way, thinking, oh, it'll be nice. I'll be able to face it this way, and then I'll be able to have my light hanging off there, lighting all that up. That's why I did it. But my, you know, I've got to bend over to see my rod tips. I might have to move my tripod back actually. Anyhow, isn't it nice coming out on a day that's sunny, very little wind, and enjoying yourself in the quiet, tranquil surroundings, getting wound up over the fact that you've done a dodgy cast, which is another head thump, which they're all right, but you either let go too soon or you let go too late. Whereas if you're doing off the ground cast, you let go all right all the time. The cast might be crap, you might not be going pull punch and hitting it. You might come over the top like I do, but that's got to be sorted. But the problem with that is I've got no field now, because the council have let the field grow over, and now the gypsies have bloody moved the horses in. I'm sure a horse don't want its head being hit by a tennis ball, does it? And then there's huge great big tufts of grass, so you'll be banging and getting caught up. And but yeah, when I do whatever cast I do, as soon as it goes from the right side to the left side, you get that jiggery pain in your hip, and you're like, ah! You can't think of anything else. It all goes wrong. That's probably why I let go too late. Because as you're coming into it or doing this, you get this like that. And you don't think of anything else, do you? You're like, Jesus wept. And then you're thinking, geez, bloody cast, didn't you? Well, but it's great being out. For those out there that can't get out and they're watching this, yeah, we are what we are, aren't we? You can't alter that, can you? But at least you can see me fishing, and hopefully, whilst we say that, you might as well be looking at the rods, aren't you? Yeah, last few days, well, since Friday, it's Wednesday now, so last Friday I was working in the house and I thought, I ain't got to keep sitting down. I'm actually doing more work, and it's took a couple of months to get to that. Before, last summer, spring, when I did that other house, took a couple of weeks to get to that stage. So I'm expecting them to come back with the x-ray saying, yeah, you're gonna have to just take paracetamol, it's not that bad. Well, I can't see how it is because I've got a great big lump on my hip. I mean, if they say to me you can have an injection, they can give me a bloody injection. You think they'd give me steroid tablets, wouldn't you? Size of horse tablets. Take one of them, Mr. O. You might be hanging off a lampshade in the front room, but you'll feel a lot better. That'll do me. It's not a problem. Yeah, I've got to wait for this coffee to go right cold so I can take my tablets, because I've got no water with me. Yeah, this water in this river here, this year, it didn't last year. Last year, you cast it out and it just stayed there. It might have swung slightly to the right or slightly to the left as the tide's in or out, but that was it. But mostly, you chucked it out and it stayed there. Now, it is staying there where I've chucked it, but you seem to find that the water comes down the middle of the river, and then must be bits that come looping round, going back out down the sides. Now, I don't know whether that's something to do with the fact of how this mark is fishing compared to last year, because when I came here this season, fishing here, it was like that. You would cast out, the tide is coming in, and your lines would go to the right. They wouldn't go to the left as the tide's coming in. They were literally going to the right as the tide's going out, but the tide is actually coming in, and it's still doing it today. Now, I don't know whether that is a reason why there's not so many fish here, whether it's just a case there's not so many fish here due to there not being so many fish, or the bait isn't here, the shrimp, the small little flatfish and whiting aren't here, the baby ones that are real tiny, so there's no food for the cod or whatever codling here. I don't know, but it could be a mixture of all them things and quite a bit of fresh water going in the river. But there's plenty of salt in that salt water to absorb that fresh water, but it might affect the bait fish and shrimp that these fish feed on. But the tide is definitely different here than what it was last year, because last year it was predictable. Every time I've come here, you've got the tide coming in and your line's going to the left. So that is different to last year. Right, that's the painkillers took. Let's hope they kick in. Time's 4 o'clock, isn't it? Thereabouts. 15:48. Now, you know what this is looking to be, don't you? I've caught a flounder on the flood. The last time I was here, I caught a flounder on the flood, or at high water, I think. No, I caught it on the flood, I think. And I never caught anything else for the whole of the session. So is it looking like one of them sessions where you catch on the flood and there's no fish on the ebb? It's all interesting. I'm only mentioning that, so if I look back at this in time, I think, ooh. Well, it's nice listening to the water slap on the shore. It's chilled me out. I've just been sat here not talking, and then I realised the camera's on. But that water does wonders for you, doesn't it? Love being beside the sea or water. Maybe because it's not a strong tide, the water's come in, it's coming to high water, but there's such a body of water upstream that it's now stronger than the tide coming in, and it's now coming out, because that water's going right to left. If I was to chuck a poo stick in there, it'd go from left to right. I might have got them right and lefts and left and right round the wrong way, but it's left to right. That water ain't going to come in much more than that. I'm going to have a crook net because I sat my bloody shelter the wrong way. I think I might actually move my tripod back a bit. The whole idea is to sit on your box and see your rod tips, isn't it? See you in a bit. I've had a tap on this Vercelli rod, so I'm gonna bring it in. Could just be weed or plastic. I've got a bit of plastic on there and that's gone. Got some weight on it. It has got some weight. Oh, I've got a flounder. Well, that's great. It's always nice to catch more than one. Second flounder. I swallowed that hook. We'll have to get that unhooked. So what we'll do is we shall put that there. Get this. Slip the rig off. Get it in the bucket. Because it's all about looking after the fish as best you can. They still sometimes don't make it, but the better that you can do for them, the better you can do for them, eh? What a bloody lingo is that? The more you can do for them, the better it is. So. Right, we've got that flounder unhooked. That was easy. I never show unhooking it because sometimes it goes wrong, and by go wrong you go through one side of the gills and it might be the other side of the gills, and you always panic a bit, but there's no need to because I just dump them in the bucket. But there is the odd time where you can't get the hook out because the hook, you might have to go out on the underside of the gill rather than the top, but it don't matter because the hook has gone in the opposite way, so you're pushing against it and the hooks all skew whiffy. It's crap. So on those instances you have to cut the line. I cut the line as close as I can to the hook and just hope that it rots out. So we'll check this out again. Short, it's about the same. We'll let that take the slack up, so the weight will be falling to the mud, to the bed of the river, and then it'll grip, and it's got the slack of the line to do that. The line's now gone tight and you can see us now pulling the rod over, so I can take this back. That's under tension now. Knock it onto 2 clicks. And that's it. So let's get this flounder out and show you it. This is where you get cold hands. That water is bloody frozen. So there you have it. Did you see that, eh? Gordon Banks that was, wasn't it? This is a lively one, so yeah, we'll hold it that way. One flounder. Let's check that's filming. Can't remember if I turned it on. Yeah. So yeah, one flounder. we'll get that back. See, with my hand in front, it looks tiny, doesn't it? I don't know how they hold them, but yeah, he's not a fatty one, but he's all right. Get you down there. So at least that's 2 fish. Get these hands on these hand warmers. Yeah, it's 2 fish. I saw the bite. I was talking to the wife at the time, so I'm gonna have to go. She's walking up the hill of doom, so I'm chuffed with that. We caught a couple of fish. It's been a lovely afternoon there. Sun's gone now. It's behind the clouds. Time is 16:59. It's still light. It's probably sunset, but it's still kicking off enough light, and the nights are pulling out now. I would say in the next week it'll be daylight at 7 o'clock in the morning, by the end of next week, so like a week and a half. So yeah, nights are pulling out, mornings are getting lighter, so it's all good. If things are going the right way, aren't they? We've probably got 40 more days of winter, and then it'll be the first day of spring by the right calendar. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll start getting warmer, but it's not cold yet. But I will be putting, I ain't even got my heated jacket on, as you know, because I ain't been going on about it. I have got it on, but I haven't got the heat on. Nope. But I have got my hand warmers on, because bloody that water's frozen. So I caught that flounder on squid. I've just baited up some squid and prawn for the other rod. A little bit of weed on it, that fibrous weed that goes like felt, a bit like may rot, but not as bad. It does take pulling off, but those rods, well, they've done me proud today, haven't they? 2 fish, it's all right. I ain't got the best bait in the world. If I had, might be a different scenario. There might be a codling out there. Don't care if it's 10 centimeters, but you know. Next time I fish, it'll be in this river again, but it'll be down at the bays, I think. I'm gonna have a session down there, so. Oh, right, let's sit down, because I am feeling it for some reason today. I don't know why. I don't know why. Because the last couple of days, well, since Friday, it's been really good. Probably need to put some goop on my hip. That means drop my trousers, my thermals. I feel quite naked when I do that. I've got these earbuds. They're perfectly alright. They're only 20 quid. Couldn't see the point. I just wanted something so I could hear talking on the phone. I don't want fantastic sound in my ears with music, because that's a load of crap. If you want to hear music properly, you hear it through speakers off your stereo system, don't you? Or am I a bit old-fashioned for that? So I got these for 20 quid, but the only problem with them is that bit there where this rubber is. If that was another 3mm longer, that would push in my ear canal properly and they won't fall out. I have to push them in and winkle them in and be careful, or if I've got a hat, it holds them in. With a hat it's all right, but yeah, they're quite good. I can actually work now in the house, and whilst I'm working, I can have a chat with me mates, can't I? I think they get fed up with me ringing. I get bored at work and I think, who am I going to ring? So I'll phone Spolt up, and I'll phone Brett up. I'll phone Alan up. phone Andrew up. Oh, I need to message Andrew. And it enables me to keep doing this with a paintbrush, or this with a bit of sandpaper, or this with me feather duster to clean the walls down, ready for painting. But yeah, anyhow, next baits I've got on is squid and prawn, and I cut a sliver of squid, laid the prawn on. I should have cut the prawn right down the middle and then whipped it on. You got to be careful how much you whip it. If you whip it too much, it goes really hard with all the whipping on it, and if it's too hard, it's hard work getting it around the hook, getting your prick in, getting the prick of the tip of the sharp bit of the hook in, and then I think sometimes that's a bit too hard for the fish to bite on it. Do you know what I mean? You don't want it too hard, do you? I mean, some instances you want it as hard as you bloody can, can't you? But then that's for something that's bigger. You know, the bigger it is, the harder it needs to be. If you've got a ray coming on it and munching on it, you know, you don't want it all soft and floppy, do you? You want it to have something to bite on and then get the hook in. If it can just engulf it down, then it can swallow the hook down, can't it? So I've whipped them, not too tight, but hopefully tight enough. And on the next rig I bring in, I'm gonna bring that in and just thread them on, get it chucked out straight away. I've caught cod on prawn before. It's not the best of baits. It's a good bait, but see you in a bit. I'm going to keep watching these rod tips here, because I want them to go up and down. Bloody, like ooge, go up and down. The more they go up and down, the better. But they ain't. They're just sat there. But I can't grumble, because I've had 2 flounder. The tide is now going out. So, and it looks to me, the water's slowed down a hell of a lot. It's like a mill pond now. So the rod that's closest to you is not far out at all. It's probably 25 yard out, 20 yard. And the Ziplex is further, probably about 50. There ain't no crabs. I'm not losing any bait whatsoever. I'm going to chuck the next one up towards the Humber Bridge to the left. I've tied I've tied some pennel rigs as well. Right, I've got to write the title in for tonight's video, because tonight my video go live at 7, and I haven't even put the title in yet, so I need to do that. So I'll see you in a minute. What an absolute tangle up that is with weed. Not good. I'll probably get one more cast with that rod, and it ain't going out far. So the weed has come on. The weed has come on. So I'm going to cut this line, retie the leader on, because there's weed all over it. So where's the rig? Absolute shitloads of weed. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just fucking up gone. For fuck's sake. What is the fucking problem? Fucking. Right, I'll cut that end. Get this up. Oh, because that's all. So I'll probably. So I've now got to pull this all off. Fuck it, bollocks. Why didn't I just cut this end? Kids are out. Kids are out playing. Now I've got 2 knots. Right. Well, I ballsed that up. I cut the rig end off, and I had to cut the main line, the leader knot. So I've cut both. So I've got 2 knots to tie now. I'll bring you back in a minute when I've got this sorted. I'm going to bait up with this squid thing. I'm just chucking it out to the left. It's not going out far. I am not getting washed up with weed. If there's any coddling out there, they need to come to me, not me to them. So it is what it is. It's an absolutely beautiful night tonight. It is. The wind is totally gone now. Absolutely gone. It's not a breath of wind. I don't know what the wind's going to be tomorrow, but I think there's going to be some weather front coming. But yeah, absolutely not a breath of wind. It's like a mill pond. It's not cold. I've turned my heated jacket on just now because I figured I've got it on, I'm going to turn it on. But I've only got it on blue. Hand warmers are doing a great job. But these rod tips aren't moving. There's a white light up in the sky over there. It's no good me showing the camera to it. But it's moving so slow, it's unbelievable. You'd think it was a gyrocopter. You know, what you get summertime. But what idiot's going to be out in this weather? You know, this time of year. Well, an idiot, I suppose. I don't know what it is. It must be a helicopter or something. But whatever it is, it ain't going very quick. Could be an aeroplane, couldn't it? Well, that's that. It was perhaps it was miles and miles and miles away. because it's moving quick now. Because it was coming at me, weren't it? And it would have been bloody miles away. It's an aeroplane. It's got a propeller. It's got a propeller, so my ears must be getting better if I can hear that. Have these rods moved since I whilst I was looking at that? I suppose I'll find out when they come in, won't I? That's why it was moving slow, why it's took so long, isn't it? Well, I don't think I've done bad tonight, to be honest. I don't think I've done that bad. I think, really, with the bait that I'm using, and the best bait tonight has been squid, and both fish have come on the 2-hook flat, obviously because all I'm using is 2-hook flappers, but the fish have come on the top hooks. So everyone say that you always catch the flounders on the bottom hooks. Not me. Even last year, even with the cod, they tended to come on the top hook, unless I've got a double hook up. Not saying I don't catch them on the bottom, but tonight I've had both fish on the top hook, and that's normally the case. Well, I've kept it positive tonight, haven't I? Well, apart from swearing about the weed on the line, and what was the other swearing about? Was that my line as well? I can't remember. Have I cursed twice tonight? I had a moan about this, that and the other, and the way the country's going, ain't it? Does my head in. And these idiots that are governing us, that we vote in, you know, they say they're Tory or they say they're Labour, don't they? But really, they are whatever they are. And if they need to be a Tory or a Labour to get into having a career in Parliament, then that's what they are. They aren't really a Conservative. They aren't really Labour. I mean, Labour's full of activists. Absolute full of them. And the Tories, well, they're full of bloody Greens and moderate Labour, aren't they? Shoe that with Brexit. Half of them left, didn't they, thinking they were going to cause a hoo-ha. As soon as it come to the election, nobody voted for them because they're just tossers, weren't they? The trouble is, they want to be, like I've just said, they want to be career politicians, and they ain't bothered what party they join. They aren't whatever. A lot of them aren't related at all with their politics to that party, and that's why they're eating themselves apart. And Labour will do the same as soon as they're in power, because Labour, they ain't even deciding anything, are they? They ain't even coming up with what they're going to do. They're just still milking the fact that the Tories have destroyed themselves. Soon as they start talking about what they're going to do, they're going to get absolutely hammered, because they'll come up with such idiotic stuff. What they want to realise is we probably need another referendum on how we want our country to be run, for them to do the job. And the people that work for them. They slipped my mind what they're called, apart from wankers. God, was politics like this in the 70s and 60s and 80s? I don't know. They ought to do what the majority of the country wants, don't they, really? But I ain't getting into that now. It's an absolutely beautiful night. It is absolutely no wind. And it is I get this quite often when you go fishing, you know. You'll go fishing, and what will happen is it'll be windy or cold, and then as the session goes on, it'll warm up, or the wind will totally disappear or drop. And even though it could be bad at the start, or it could be mediocre and okay, perfectly all right, but by the end of your session, it's a far better evening than what it was at the start. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you want to watch more of these. Drop us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, and if you don't want to do that, then thank you for the view. There's nothing more I can say. And those people that want to say out, just sod off, because go do one, because we're not bothered. We're not bothered. I was watching Gareth of Riverside with me last night, and he was fishing bricks and pear, and apparently he's had in his message he sent me, he's had a couple or 3 or 4, I don't know, but he's had a few trolls, and trolls are different, you know. It could be mediocre stuff, something that just eats away at you. It could be something where they're right absolute dickheads, and Gareth just blocks them. You can block people. I tend to leave them up now and just answer it back. The last lot I pinned, it don't matter what they say. If you don't like it and you think you're just being a knob, then you just do it. But Gareth blocks them. You have to do what you want to do. But I hope it don't stop Gareth filming. I'm sure it won't, because he's still putting them out. But yeah, if you want to troll someone or leave a stupid comment, why don't you go fishing and film it and see what happens and see how you get on before you start criticising others. I've blocked people as well. In the early days I've blocked people, but you tend to just block absolute dickheads. That's what you block. I guess that's what Gareth has done. So keep it going, Gareth. Keep on going. It's Riverside with me. He doesn't need me shouting him out, because with all his B-roll and everything, he puts quite a bit of effort in. Some people like that. Other people can leave it. That ain't for me. I can watch it, but it's not for me. I can't be asked to do all that. That's even more work. It's more work, Gareth. I'm lucky I don't have to edit, because Tom edits for me, but Tom ain't gonna edit forever. I've got to meet up with Tom and do some editing, and I've got to write it down on a bit of paper, and then I'll get that rod rebuild finished, because I'm gonna edit the last 2 bits of that, and then I'll do some I've got some reel doing up business that I filmed. I've got that to edit. Anything to help out if I can, but I just need to learn it, and the problem is I bloody forget. Not that I'm thick, it's just that I'm not that interested, so it takes more effort, so I've got to write everything down. That's what I've got to do. Anyhow, Gareth, Riverside with me, go check him out. Like I say, you don't need me to shout him out, because his channel's far bigger than mine. He's done well. He's done well. I remember watching him his first fishing video, and he used to have all juicing videos on it. I watched a few of them, but that juicing ain't for me. Juicing ain't for me. I'd rather open up a bottle of bourbon or tequila. That's my juicing. Put a bit of orange juice with it, or Coke. Well, these rods aren't going, are they? Don't forget to check out Casters Fishing Wales as well. Doing a bit of a shout out tonight, ain't I? I don't normally do this. You can't do it too often. Casters Fishing Wales. He started putting a few videos out now. He's actually caught a fish as well. Matt has. He caught a conger. and then he went out again and he didn't catch, so he's back to normal again now. We all do it though, we all go through it, don't we? And message Danny, will you? Because he ain't putting new sea fishing videos out now. I'm gonna have to ring him up and speak to him. These rods didn't do much. The tide's going out. These will be the last reel-ins because get a bit of sea mist now. So that's enough rattle on in it. This tonight now is as good as summertime. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I've got this jacket. I've got thermals, my mustard top. You know what that is. I've got my heated jacket on and this hoodie. There's sea mist now. This is feeling a little bit damp, but I have got my jacket on low setting. But I don't think I need it on. I've just put it on because I charged the battery up. Right, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna have a quick coffee and then we'll reel in this Ziplex rod or the Vercelli. Don't matter which one it is, we'll reel one in. Right, let's get this in. So I'm still using the Army Tech light. I think you can see that it's lit up pretty well. It's a great light for a widespread light area to see where you are. And the battery's great as well. So. Right, let's get the next one in. That tide has gone out quite quickly. So, that's the Ziplex in. That bait didn't work, did it? I think that needs to go there. Just setting up a shot here. As though I'm a bloody Hollywood movie star. Did you get out?
No, plenty of weed.
Nothing at all?
No.
No.
Didn't you?
No, I don't.
I've had 2 flounder.
Yeah.
That's made me feel a lot better. Because like, I'm just a hobby fisherman, fucking about filming, you see.
Yeah.
But you've been fishing. I thought you might have had some there.
No.
Nah.
Good spot that and then this and right.
Yeah. Because you can catch on that all the way down, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to.
That weed's turbo at minute up there.
Weed's bad.
Yeah. What bait have you got then?
Black look.
Lug.
With them black.
Good and black.
Yeah. I think you need yellows really, don't you? But
Well,
I don't think they're here, are they?
oh, that's what we are. They are yellows.
Yeah.
Because we could pump our own.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's just... No, there's not many, there's not the numbers like there were last year.
Well, last year there was lots of shrimp there, weren't there? And baby little flounder.
Yeah.
But now I haven't seen any. Well, I haven't had any fish cough any up. So
It's not fish nowhere near as good as last year.
no, no. There was cod there in October, weren't there?
Yeah.
And November.
Yeah.
They haven't done very good at Stellenbosch to eat.
No.
No.
There was a 10-pounder caught there a couple of weekends ago, weren't
My
there?
mate got a 12.
My mate got a 12 pounder there Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had 5 biggies for £12.
Bloody hell.
A nice fish, like.
Yeah, they're there, aren't they? Perhaps they ain't come so far up river, but there must have been shitloads of food there last year.
They're just in pockets because they're there one minute and gone the next.
Yeah. Well, these big tides are coming, ain't they? So hopefully.
Yeah. There's still time yet.
Yeah.
Right, see you later.
See you later, mate.
Ta-da.
What's your names, anyhow?
Dean.
Dennis and Dean.
Dennis and Dean.
From Doncaster.
Hey, I'll not forget that, Dennis and
I
Dean.
watch you on your YouTube.
You watch me, do you?
Yeah, aye.
So, what do you reckon to that then? Am I? I ain't that bad, am I?
It's alright.
It's alright.
What we do, we watch them and then we know where to go, where not to go.
Yeah, well, this year it's not where to go, mate.
Yeah, you had some good fish off here last year, don't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had 54.
54, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was bloody
Good season,
brilliant.
that.
Where
Yeah.
did you get that £10 off this one or that corner one?
I didn't have I hadn't had a 10. My biggest is £6 6 ounce.
Was that off that corner?
I can't remember, but that big one I had off that corner. The following week, I had such a fish on my rod. It was banging left and banging right, and I thought, Christ, I've got a monster.
Yeah.
And then it just went light and it was gone, because you can hook them in the mouth and it rips, doesn't it?
You get them in that soft bit.
Yeah, and I was mortified because I knew that was a big one.
Oh, we've
But-
been and done that.
I've had a £6 6 ounce there,
Yeah.
but then
Up bank crying.
yeah. Well, good luck next time.
Right, see
Keep
you
at it,
later.
Verns. See you
See you
later,
later, mate.
See you later, buddy.
Bye. Well, I'm pleased with that. Last cast, and we caught ourselves quite a good sized whiting. So let's get this unhooked quickly, because we don't want it out too long. It is just lip hooked. Yeah, one whiting. Look at that. And we'll get that in the bucket, so that's good. Let's just check us filming. Yeah. So, one whiting. We'll double check. Yeah, one whiting. Let's get it in the bucket and I'll go take it back now. Let's check this on. Yeah, not much battery left. Should get this done. Right, so what have we had tonight? We've been on the River Humber It's been a 6.1 metre tide. It's been an absolutely fantastic afternoon. There's a plane in the sky on with his afterburners on, and it's got to the point of where it's been absolutely fantastic weather. It's as good as summer for a February night in winter. So it's been a great night. I've enjoyed myself. It's been brilliant being on there. It's cleared me head of all the work and everything that I was thinking about. It's nice to meet Dean and Derek, I think, or Dean and Dennis. It's definitely Dean. They're from Doncaster. I thought I'd remember that because they were two D's. But yeah, it's nice meeting you. Nice having a chat with you. Yeah, I can't remember. Terrible, aren't I? I do apologise. And yes, this has been the River Humber fishing with Verns Fishing. We've had 2 flounder and a whiting on the last reeling. I walked right to the right. It's a lot cleaner. The stones are a lot cleaner, no mud. Walked down to the edge, chucked the fish in. It was upright in the bucket and it was upright in the water. Chucked the rest of the water all over it and chucked it about 3.5 metres out. And he was sat there and then he just disappeared, so he swam off. So yeah, all fish returned. I can't see any flatfish down on the shoreline. It is muddy at the front, but over there it's a bit cleaner, so that's where I walk because it's a bit treacherous. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this for what it is. Remember, there's no Ferris wheels or potting sheds there. It is just a fishing video, and it's a fishing video of my trip from when I start filming to when I pack up. It is my day fishing wherever I'm fishing. So leave us a like, thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm now rattling on and I'm going to end it now. So thanks for watching. 2 flounder, 1 whiting. I'll see you anon. I can't believe I ain't pulled it off.